Death is certain, but few truly live like they know it. Most live as if they have forever, chasing distractions, avoiding truth. But the Stoics teach us differently. You must die before you die. Not a physical death, but a spiritual one. A death to who you think you are. A death to false identities. A death to illusions that bind you. Only by dying to the old self can you be reborn, stronger, freer, wiser. This death is not easy. It demands courage, honesty, surrender. It means facing your fears, your pride, your attachments. It means letting go of comfort, of control, of the need to be right. Why must you die before you die? Because life, true life, begins when you stop clinging, when you accept the impermanence of all things, when you realize that what you hold on to is what holds you back. This death frees you from anxiety, from suffering, from regret. It teaches you to live with purpose, with clarity, with peace. The Stoics knew this well. They practiced daily death, meditating on mortality, on loss, on change, not to scare themselves, but to remind themselves, to live fully, to love deeply, to act wisely, because the moment is fleeting and uncertain. You must die before you die, to embrace that truth, to break free from illusion, to see what really matters, to live without fear, to be ready for whatever comes. This death is a beginning, not an end. It's the doorway to freedom. Dying before you die is shedding false layers, the stories you tell yourself, the identities you cling to. It's the death of ego, of pride, of selfish desires. This death is a surrender, not a defeat. Surrender to reality, to truth, to what is. Most people fear death because they fear losing control, losing what they think defines them. But dying before you die is gaining control. Control over your mind, control over your heart. It is choosing what defines you, not what society or fear imposes. This death is a choice every day, every moment. To let go of anger, of hatred, of resentment. To let go of fear, of judgment, of the need to be seen. To embrace humility, gratitude, peace. When you die before you die, you stop fearing the end. Because you've already experienced it, you stop wasting time on what doesn't matter. Because you know what does. You live with urgency, not panic, with calm, not chaos. You see life clearly, without illusions. You are free to be yourself, because you no longer need masks. You no longer seek approval. You live with integrity. You no longer run from pain. You face it. You no longer cling to comfort. You embrace growth. This death is not physical, but spiritual, mental, emotional. It is the end of old patterns, old habits, old ways of thinking. It is the birth of new awareness, new strength, new purpose. Most people wait until death forces them to change. But the wise choose to die before that. They practice it daily, through reflection, through struggle, through acceptance. They remind themselves that life is fragile, that time is short, that everything passes. This awareness changes everything. It changes how you love, how you forgive, how you act. It changes how you value, what you pursue, who you trust. It clears away the noise, the distractions, the illusions, leaving only what is real. When you die before you die, you live fully alive, not waiting for death to teach you, but learning while you still breathe. You understand the power of now, the value of presence, the gift of each moment. You stop fearing failure, because failure is part of dying and rebirth. You stop fearing loss, because you've already let go. You stop fearing judgment, because you live by your own truth. This death makes you brave, makes you wise, makes you whole. It is the foundation of resilience, of peace, of freedom. You become like the Stoics, not afraid of death, but ready for life, because you have died to what holds you back. You have let go of what weighs you down. You have embraced what lifts you up. To live like this is to be truly alive. To die before you die is to live without regret, to live without fear, to live with purpose. When you die before you die, you stop running from pain. You face it. You learn from it. Pain loses its power because you've met it before. In your mind, in your soul, you stop fearing loss because you've practiced letting go. You stop fearing change because change is part of dying and rebirth. You stop fearing failure because failure is just a lesson, not the end. This death before death is the key to peace. It frees you from anxiety, from regret, from bitterness. It frees you to love fully, to forgive deeply, to live boldly. When you die before you die, you no longer live for approval, for status, for possessions. You live for meaning, for connection, for truth. You live for what lasts, not for what fades. You become present, fully present. In every moment, you stop wasting time on what doesn't matter. You focus on what does. You embrace simplicity because you know life is fragile. You embrace gratitude because you know nothing lasts forever. You embrace humility because you know your limits. You embrace courage because you know death is coming, but you are ready. This readiness is strength. It is peace. It is freedom. It lets you walk through life with your head held high, your heart open, your soul calm. You are not afraid of endings. Because you have already faced them, you are not controlled by fear. Because you have already conquered it, you are not lost because you have found yourself. This is the power of dying before you die. It is the path to true freedom, to true living. Dying before you die is about embracing reality, not escaping it. It means looking at life with clear eyes, no illusions. It means accepting your limits, your weaknesses, your mortality. This acceptance is power, not weakness. It frees you from fear, from denial, from suffering. Most people live in denial, pretending they are invincible, immortal. They waste time, chasing distractions, avoiding truth. But truth is the only way to peace, to freedom. The Stoics practiced this daily. They meditated on death, on impermanence, on loss, not to scare themselves, but to prepare, to live fully, to love deeply, to act wisely, because life is short, fragile, unpredictable. You must die before you die to understand this, to make the most of your time, to stop wasting energy on what doesn't matter, to focus on what does, dying before you die is the key to courage, courage to face challenges, to embrace change, to stand firm in adversity. It gives you strength when the world falls apart, when pain arrives, when loss happens. You are ready because you have died before, you have let go of what holds you back. You have chosen freedom over fear. You have chosen life over illusion.